Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Monday, the 11th of April, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to talk about something oh boy. You know what they're able to create nowadays? The first entry-level video I saw on this was a few years ago, maybe five years ago, and they were talking about these new little drones. And the drones are only small. They're smaller than your hand. And with these new electronic chips and stuff that they have now, they can program these drones with a small charge, explosive charge, and the drones can track, self-follow you, and they can basically blow you up. Now, over in Ukraine, over the past number of weeks, the Ukrainian army has been using very technical weapons that have been supplied by the West, and they've been doing a tremendous amount of damage to the Russian forces with different things like drones and things like over-the-shoulder held weapons systems that are able to heat seek and seek down enemy aircraft, and doing tremendous damage to the Russians with higher, more advanced technology rather than things like tanks. Tanks are being slowly phased out on the battlefield, but drones, I saw this video of a drone about 2 days ago, one of the newest, latest technologies of a drone, and it wasn't flying using propellers. Like most of these drones that you see, they all fly operating using propellers, and they make a buzzing sound, a loud buzzing sound, almost like a bee, and they're quite loud. You can hear them from a couple hundred meters away, with maybe 600 feet away. You can hear them bzzz, like a loud bee coming or something, But now they get these drones, and I don't know how they work. Maybe some sort of anti-gravity technology or something. It's different. They're working off a different type of technology, and they're completely silent. They don't make a sound. They've got it. They've got it now. But not just drone technology, They're also moving toward advanced robots. Companies like Boston Dynamics is leading the way in this, but other factories could pop up. Once they have the basic technology in place, other factories and things could pop up, and we could start seeing robots being mass produced on a massive scale. It would be multi-purpose robots. Robots that would be capable of not only working in a factory, but also taking orders and going out there and being Terminators, just like in the movies, The Terminator. Some of these technologies that are being developed now could be used for population control of humanity. And it's a dire thing to say, but they could also be used in warfare. And it's a dire thing to say, but we already are starting to see a population increase to a crescendo on the earth. And now we're having food supply issues, and the world is actually becoming more bipolar. And what I mean by that is they're finding their dividing line between West and East. China today, right now, undergoing a massive buildup of their nuclear arsenal, which are beyond belief weapons of mass destruction. We're moving into a world that's more and more difficult to survive in as the financial system is on shaky grounds at the same time. It's almost like we're going through some sort of a massive shift or change that's happening right now in real time, that the world's becoming a very dangerous place to live in. It started in 2020 with the COVID virus coming out. And it seems like this new normal is developing. The world is not becoming the old world where we could have safety and security, it's becoming an unsecure, very difficult place for humanity to survive in. And we have to adapt to this new, what's called new normal, which I don't like. I don't like it, but I can see that this is the way it's going. And so what about these new robots? I think they're planning on actually quite literally replacing an awful lot of workers. In places like Amazon, they have these new robots that are able to load the boxes on conveyor belts, and they don't need a person to load the boxes anymore. So those jobs are going to be gone. And an awful lot of other jobs, like you go to the grocery store, there's probably a time coming not too far in the future where you're going to be giving your money to a robot, and there won't be any humans there. And if you don't have a payment system that's structured so that you can check the stuff, well, you're already getting used to this in places like Walmart and these different stores where you actually have to become the cashier. And I can see a time coming very soon where there won't be any real people in the store anywhere, no clerks or anything like that. They'll probably load all the merchandise in at night with robots into the shelves. You'll go in and you'll pick out whatever you want to buy, and you go to check it out. And say somebody comes into the store and they want to try to rob something in the store, they grab it and they go running out with it. Well, the robot's going to be the one that's going to grab them. It's a strange new world we're moving into, and we're moving into it fast. Warfare. Like I say, this world's becoming divided now, too, between East and West. And you have China and in Russia. You have the divide is the Eastern countries, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and then you have the West, and the United States of America, Great Britain, and the Western Bloc nations. There's this firm divide between the two, and at the same time, we're moving into a technologically advanced society where you're going to be watched all the time. And then we got central bank digital currencies on their way, which are going to be able to know what you're spending and everywhere you're spending it. And it's just a matter of time before the powers that are in place that's controlling all these things decide that they don't need as many actual people to do physical work because they've replaced most of them with robots. And so it wouldn't be as critical for them at that point in time to continue with massive amounts of food production. And so an awful lot of people in the world will become superfluous. They don't really have a place anymore, as they're not needed. In other words, they're how to put this? So food production will cut back, and they're already cutting back on food production worldwide. We did have enough food to feed 8 billion people. Now we probably only got enough food to feed 6 billion people. Who's going to be the 2 billion people on Earth that's not going to get the food? You're going to see massive changes coming very soon. And what we need to try to do is navigate through these changes and preserve ourselves. The alternative to that is not to navigate through these changes, to be kind of stuck in the old paradigm of what the way things used to be. And you're soon going to find that these changes that's happening right now are going to, if you stick to that, are going to start to overwhelm you. They're going to overwhelm a lot of people in society. What's going to be the result of that? A lot of people are going to be going hungry, and then the next thing you know, they're going to revolt against this because they don't like it, because they're used to the way things were back before the year 2020, back in the way things were back in 2019. What's the end result of this? Is they'll protest against it. because they don't like it. And that'll restrict the supply line chains even more and put more pressure on them and make things actually worse instead of better. And heaven forbid it get to the point where the supply chains break down and the people get to the point of rebellion where they're blocking highways and stuff and the trucks can't get through to deliver food. And, if you guys think that this can't happen, all you have to do is take a look right here where I live in Canada, what happened just a few months ago, where the people did not like what was going on. So they protested against it. And what happened is they blocked the highways off. And no, they didn't block all the highways off, but they were blocking highways off and stopping the trucks from getting through for a period of time. It shows that it can happen. It's just but what if it happens on a much more massive scale? What would be the chain reaction from that? Would be that the food wouldn't get through, and then chaos would start to break out. And that chaos in turn would stop things and freeze things even further. And then the next thing you know, the power grid would go down. And what do you do in a situation like that? Are you prepared for that? Because if you're not, you're going to become a victim or a statistic of the situation once it gets started and rolling. These are very dangerous times we're living in. Preppers, for the longest time, I was producing shows on my channel for like the last 7 years, and it wasn't in vogue to be a prepper. Now all of a sudden it's starting to become in vogue to be a prepper. You got to keep up with what's happening. I've been trying to keep you guys up with what's happening out there on my channel, and right now things are moving so fast, and we're in a funny little period right now where there's not an awful lot of headline news, but at the same time, behind the scenes, there's so many things happening simultaneously that it's leading to something that I call the convergence. Now, today I'm doing research on this convergence and what is going to be the net effects of these converging, what would I call it, timelines and things that are happening. Is the world going to make it through, or are we going to have some sort of a nuclear Armageddon and all humanity disappear? I'm working on this, guys, and keep you guys informed, in this essentially a multiverse, what they call a multiverse that we're in, which I truly believe is some sort of a synthetic, what's the word I would use? Simulation. But the strange thing about things like that is there's no direct proof for it out there. There's only indirect evidence. And so it's a difficult analysis to make, especially at the present time with so many things happening. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm rambling on a little bit. Thank you for listening to my show. Listen, all my loyal viewers out there, I have tremendous amount of loyal viewers on both of my channels. I really appreciate you guys, and if you guys could just, you got a friend, a friend out there, he doesn't know about my channel, give him a suggestion. Say, hey, watch this guy Glenn. He's always talking about new and novel things, and he's always keeping up ahead of the markets, and he's been right about so many things over the last 7 or 8 years. And I hate to admit it to you guys that I've been right, because a lot of these things are things I don't want to see happen, but they're happening. What can I say? Have a nice day, guys, and recommend me to your friends so that I can help grow my channels a little bit bigger. I really appreciate you guys out there, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.